Hey guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about how to do 123. So I'm going to share my screen here and talk a little bit from the shell homepage, and we'll go from there. All right, share. Okay, so this is your homepage. You see announcements at the top. You don't see any of this stuff because that's my view. I'm a teacher. You see a link to the course videos, which is critical, Zoom, and then the slides. The slides is a resource that you can use to get answers out of the book, which is nice. The course videos are going to be one of your main learning tools because they'll take you through, let's just click on this, they'll take you through a section and walk you through every single problem, okay? So for instance, if we look here at the very first section, which is ratios, and we look at the construction of ratios. Now this gives me a built-in. If I want to pop out, then I need to, I think I can do that. That's a full screen. Okay, hold on a second. So she's talking about section 2 ratios, construction of ratios. If we look at the PDF for the book, let me just scroll up to section 2 here. Construction of ratios, right? So she's actually working in the book. You should have your book out and you should be listening to what she's saying and writing stuff down. You don't have to write down everything she writes down. You should write down the stuff that is kind of like, this seems kind of new to me, so I'm going to write it down. And there's two ways that you can approach the problems. You can just write down what she's writing down, or you can pause it and you can try to answer the question, and then you can see what she has to say about it by unpausing it and pressing play. Okay, so videos. Let's go back to the home page. Got announcements at the top, and you've got videos here, Zoom here. Zoom is where you would go to link up with me. I think in general, what I'm going to do is give you links to Zoom. I think this would be to like open up Zoom from, if you were going to try to set up a meeting with somebody. In general, if we're going to have a meeting, I'm going to put it in the announcements, and you would just click on that link and it would open Zoom. In that first week, as we're getting, all of these technological hurdles kind of figured out, then if this is the first time you've used Zoom, then you just got to let me know, and I can try to help you. And I've got to help you from a distance, which is one of the challenges of this whole setup. Okay. So one of the nice things about the syllabus link, the announcements should be, you should probably take a look at your notifications and make sure you're getting notified of when the announcements are posted. I think if you have Canvas as an app on your phone, then you get notifications about new things. So that's probably the easiest way. But you want to have a way to be notified when there's an announcement, because when I make announcements, they'll have important information in them, and that's how you kind of stay up to date with what's happening. Okay, so the syllabus, you can look at download the syllabus there and look at it. That'll be useful when you're doing the syllabus quiz. You've got my contact information, and most importantly in the syllabus section, you have this whole assignment list with all the due dates. So that's kind of nice as a calendar that you can look at and just do a quick reference, like, okay, what's due today? Also in this section, you see a little description of the weighting. That's going to be important for our first project. Okay, modules not important. Assignments is where you would go. Oh, discussion. Let's skip discussions. So I have set up one discussion board, which is the general discussion board, And basically any questions or things that you're worrying about, you should be posting on the discussion board, especially if they seem like they're class questions that other people would benefit from. If you send me an email and it's a good question, I may ask you to post it in the discussion board and respond to it there, because I want everybody to be able to see those responses. So think about the kinds of questions you have and whether they would be good for the discussion board. The assignment section has the individual groups and assignments that you can be working with. Generally, yours is not organized by group, but it's organized by date. So that makes your view look a little different. But you would see something like section 2 homework near the top. You would see the syllabus quiz near the top. You would see Excel 0 near the top. And basically, this is where you would click on something to go to the assignment page. So let's go to the section 2 homework. So the basic concept of learning here is that you have instruction, and then you have some practice, and then you have some feedback, evaluation or feedback. So when you watch the video, you're getting instruction, maybe some practice, depending on whether you're pausing the video and then going forward. When we meet as a group on Zoom, we'll be doing a lot of practice, because I want to try to focus on that moment to be able to get you feedback about what you're doing, to know whether you've understood what you needed to understand. The homework is kind of an evaluation tool to see what you understand, right? So if you go in here and I do preview, you would actually try it. There's a couple things to note about this. Oh, sorry. Let me go back to that page. No time limit on the homework. Multiple attempts, yes. Score to keep is the highest, right? Is it going to show you the correct answers? No. Does it show you one question at a time? No. So you're going to see all 10 questions. Most of them are 10 questions. And you're going to do the best you can and then submit it. One of the things that I think is strategically sensible is that you can try questions and then get immediate feedback. So for instance, if you're not feeling very confident about any of this, talked about ratios, we did some practice, and you're like, oh, I don't know. Look at the first question and try it out, right? And then see what you do, right? So I might write something like 0.5 and then submit it just to get the feedback and see whether I was right or wrong about that question. Turns out I was wrong. And so then once I've got the feedback, then I need to figure out, well, what went wrong, right? Do I need to read it more carefully? Do I not understand how to make a ratio and turn it into a decimal? Something like that. That's a big part of the cycle of learning, is using the homework to check in on yourself. It's not a big part of the course. If you go to the syllabus and you look at the weight of the homework, it says only 10% of the course. So you're not getting a lot of your credit for the course just by doing homework, but it is an important phase of learning what is happening and figuring out whether you know what you're doing. So you do some homework, and basically that's okay. Sorry. I feel like interruptions are going to be a pretty normal course of events in this, which has, I mean, I can pause the recording, but if you're in the middle of class and you get interrupted, what are you going to do about it? You know, one of the things that I can do is I can record our meetings and post them online. I think I made a video about background noise. If you get interrupted and you're already on mute, then it's really not that big of a deal. If you're not on mute, then make sure you put yourself on mute before you wander off to take care of whatever you have to wander off to take care of. If you have kids, it's just a totally different ball game, because you got to manage your kids and look out for what they're doing and take care of them. So there'd be kind of a split between the humans that have kids and the humans that don't have kids in terms of how they understand this scenario and what's happening. Okay, so let's see, where was I? So just to point out about the homework, it has due dates. It has due dates, but it's available until later. So you can't see the available until now because it's not actually released, but I think it's basically available until 8 in the morning on the day of the test. The reason it's 8 in the morning is not because you're going to take the test at 8 in the morning necessarily, but because I want you to stop working on the homework before you take the test. With a couple of hours to spare, you should not be working on your homework up to the last minute because there's something more important than the homework in terms of preparing for the test, and that's called the review quiz. Okay, so the review quiz is worth 5% of your grade combined, and they are there to help you prepare for the test. They are due before you take the test. I'm not going to talk a lot about testing today because there's more to be figured out about that. We just had a decision that they're going to close all the schools, so now everything's up in the air about testing and how are we going to do it. So just kind of focusing on general overview. You're going to watch some videos. You're going to come to class at a time that is scheduled, which is somewhere between 8:30 and 12 on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then we'll get together and we'll talk and we'll go through some problems that are not in the book so that you have new problems to look at. And you should be looking at the homework as a way of evaluating, do I understand? Do I get it? Can I do these questions? Okay. What else is there to do? Logbooks. Logbooks are due every Friday. So your first logbook's due on the 27th. Doesn't seem like the right date, but maybe it is. Yeah, 27th. So you're going to email me something, and these are, you can find the information in 2 different places. There's the, sorry, another interruption. Okay. Okay, well, another interruption. No problem. We are going to be good at getting interrupted. All right, logbook. Send me an email. The prompt's here or in the announcements. Quizzes. The quizzes are going to be online, and they'll have a time limit and a window that you can do them in. And I'm going to work on concepts about retaking quizzes because I think it's important for you to be able to have multiple opportunities. In a normal semester, we do this in my office and we talk about things. That's not going to happen this semester, doesn't look like, unless things loosen up later on. So I just plan to have some opportunities available after the first window. Then there'll be maybe a couple days later an opportunity to retry it, different types of questions, and then maybe another opportunity after that. Projects we'll talk about as we go. These are very important to me. They're a big part of the course in terms of the value and importance of what we're doing. And the weighted average project especially is very important for you to know how you're doing in the course and how you're going to do as we get to that last week. So we'll talk about that. Review quiz we've already just touched on briefly. It's a way to prepare for the exams. Those are very important, and they'll be due before the time then you take the exams. The exams are going to be online, and because there's no, colleges aren't open to be able to do anything. So we're going to have to talk about how that's going to work, what it's going to look like, and we'll be in touch about that. I've got 2 weeks to figure it out, so don't worry yourself about that now. And then last but not least is Excel. Excel is a big part of the course. It's one of my essential learnings, and you need a computer to do this. You need access to a computer. You can download Excel onto your computer using the links in the Ivy Learn student page, and I can show you how to do that. Every Excel has a video that goes with it. You probably don't know enough about Excel to just jump into the assignment and start doing it. So watch the video, maybe have the video up on the screen, and then also the Excel assignment up somewhere else so that you can kind of go back and forth. I don't do the problems for you. I show you what you need to know to do the problem. So let me know if you're struggling with that. Also, Anna and Bobby are very good helping with that. Okay, So that's kind of the structure and the concept of how you're going to do it. We'll try to condense that into a short announcement so you can kind of refer to that as we're going. But I wanted to take a second and kind of go through all the different components of the course. All right. Be good. Talk to you later.